Hello all my fit friends and welcome back to Wow Body Now. So this is another 75 hard challenge check-in and I'm going to kind of explain what went on with the challenge this week as I take you through, and you can watch this workout and then some of me gardening. So y'all, I had another setback. So Sunday, not only did I forget to read, but I also did not follow the prescribed diet that I had set up for myself. So I had to start over again, and I decided to take a couple of days to think about this challenge. So to be as succinct as possible, basically, I have a history of binge eating that was exacerbated from getting so lean and dieting so hard for 2 years to compete. Along with the binge eating came an unhealthy relationship with food and attitudes towards food. For example, avoiding eating bananas because too many carbs, and feeling guilt around eating, and then trying to overcompensate by over-exercising after. Just feeling like I shouldn't eat, being afraid to eat, getting very food obsessed to the point to where I would be binge watching like baking channels and other people eating food and things like that. So my number one thing is not to return to that. And honestly, when I started this 75 hard challenge journey, I hadn't read the book yet. I had just kind of gone off of what I saw other YouTubers had done, and I thought that I would be able to follow a less restrictive thing where I would be able to have treats. I was planning on counting calories, tracking macros, and following the 80-20 rule. 80% of really good whole dense foods, and then 20% treats here and then. So when I read the book and he basically said, no, for 75 days, you're not having any treats, you're avoiding things like baked goods and things like that, this fear went off in my head where it's like, oh, I'm gonna not be able to do that. It's gonna make me food obsessed. It's gonna lend to these unhealthy habits. In the back of my head, I've had this fear. And honestly, the 3 times that I've gone off diet, that's one of the things that I was telling myself in my head, well, if I totally restrict myself now, if I don't eat this little bit now, then I'm gonna become food obsessed and I'm gonna revert back to those things. And so I decided to take a few days off to really think about it and to really think through. I had a couple options. I could just quit the 75 hard challenge altogether if I was really worried about that. I could do my version, which I was gonna call the 75 not so hard challenge, to where I basically did follow the 80-20 rule. So it would not be the 75 hard challenge, but I would do everything involved with the 75 hard challenge, except I would allow myself treats 20% of the time. Or I could continue with the 75 hard challenge, start all over again. But if that was going to be the case, I would really have to, change my attitude around the treats. And so I've decided, you know what? As long as I don't think of it as I can't have treats and becoming really negative around it and things like that, if I could just remind myself that, yes, I can have a treat. I'm a grown-ass woman. I can have a treat anytime I want, right? There are no bad foods, right? There's the reason why I'm avoiding the treats isn't because they're bad. It's because I've made a challenge. I've challenged myself. I've made a decision ahead of time to do this challenge, and it's about developing mental toughness. It's about learning to sacrifice. It's about learning to develop the ability to practice delayed gratification. So delayed gratification is when you choose not to do something that you really want now because you want results later. And actually, research has shown that people who are able to practice delayed gratification, they're more successful in life, they reach their goals more, whether they're fitness related or other goals. And so I said, you know what, it's really important for me. I want to be able to practice more delayed gratification. I want to develop a more mental toughness and things like that. And so my strategy moving forward with this is I'm going to take it and practice that mindset. It's not I can't have it and I'm gonna be fearful, I'm gonna revert back and living in fear like, oh, I'm gonna go back to these old habits. I am going to move forward knowing that it's not that I can't have it, it's I choose not to have it. And I'm delaying eating those things now for a higher purpose of, developing the skill of being able to practice delayed gratification so that I can be more equipped to achieve goals in life, that I can be more mentally tough. So I started over again on Friday, and with that in mind, and to tell you the truth, I am perfectly happy with the way my body looks now. I've dropped, I started around 115, 116. I'm hovering around 111 right now, and I like the way I look. And so I am going to continue to track calories and macros on days where I want to challenge myself, and if I do decide I want to get a little bit leaner, I'm going to be eating around 1,200 calories. If I tend to start to become more fixated and craving or feeling severe hunger, I'll take it up to maintenance, which is going to be between 1,600 and 1,700 calories a day. So for the rest of the challenge, I'm going to be staying in that rep range, or that calorie range, 1,200 to 1,600 to 1,700 calories, and not going above or below that. And then I'm also going to be tracking seriously my protein to get anywhere from 110 to 130 grams of protein every day. So that's the diet strategy that I'm going to be following, and obviously avoiding baked goods, candy, and things like that. So I'm starting over again, but you know what? I'm not perfect. That's okay. And yeah, I think this will be start number 3. Nobody's perfect. Life isn't perfect. And this is life. So with that, you can kind of finish seeing my gardening here. On the side of my house, I got some double hollyhocks bulbs or roots, and I put them in on the side. And then I'm gonna finish up here watering and things like that. So yeah, when I'm all done here gardening, I'm gonna take you inside and I'm gonna share an awesome new salad recipe that I tried. And another strategy that I'm using in my diet is the volumetric dieting principles. So volumetric dieting is basically, it's trying to help you maintain a healthy body composition by choosing foods that are less calorie dense but higher in volume. So these are foods that are lower in calorie but high water content and high fiber content. So this helps you feel fuller longer, and helps you avoid eating calorie dense foods that just make it harder to maintain a healthy body composition. And so obviously eating fresh fruits and vegetables, eating that are high in fiber and water content, things like even white rice that's lower in calorie count but high water content, things like that. And so yeah, so obviously I'm going to be eating lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, and I love salads, but I know salads can get boring if you have the same salad over and over again. And my husband and I went out to eat last week, and they had this fresh beet and goat cheese salad, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so delicious. I went home, I looked up like a recipe to try, and I tried it, and it was delicious, and I said, I have to share it with you guys, and it's going to be a really good example of a volumetric meal following volumetric diet principles. All right, so let's get into that yummy salad recipe. have it. This was absolutely delicious. I ended up eating every single bite. I hope you enjoyed this check-in. I hope you're finding value in me sharing my journey. Comment below and let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. And I will see you on Monday for our next workout. Bye!